Sean Saunders here. Welcome to this week. We're going to talk about the mental game and getting yourself right, and which is a big part of it. So I want to talk about confidence first, because I think most golfers they struggle with confidence when it comes to that one shot. Maybe it's a pitch shot. That little 30-yard pitch shot's tough for me anyway. Otherwise, a bunker shot. There's always one shot that kind of plagues a golfer, but also plagues their game. And so I want to talk a little bit about confidence. We're here with Marv Fremerman, by the way. Marv is a sports performance coach and trainer. He's worked with really well-known teams, players, athletes, all types of athletes. But today we're going to talk about golf. And golf is very mental. You need to have a high sense of confidence. So talk a little bit about confidence, Marv.
Well, confidence is a manifestation. It comes from a high sense of self-worth. If you feel good about yourself, you're going to have confidence. If you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to have confidence. And if you don't feel good about yourself and you're trying to make that 12-foot putt, you're going to have a tough time making it. And the happier you are, and the more your life's in harmony, the more confidence you're going to have, and the better you're going to play.
Exactly. So, how does the language we use, like words, you find probably that when you do your interviews and things, you hear words like hope and try, like I hope to do this in 90 days. Yeah. I mean, you got to be committed, and I think part of being committed is the language that you use. Like what I do for my 90 days, I'm going to shoot this score. I'm going to be a scratch golfer in 90 days. Be committed. That's a tough goal, but if you're committed, it's a good chance you're going to.
Yeah, and if you're committed, there's no such word in the human language as try or hope. I mean, either you are committed. It's kind of like being a little bit pregnant. Either you are or not.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
I would say this: that if you're committed, and if you hear a coach or hear a golfer say, I hope to break par, do a scratch golfer, that golfer does not believe that he or she can do it, or I'm going to try to do this. Try and hope don't exist when you're committed. So that's very important to listen to your own language, because if you're using those words, that means you're not committed. You don't even believe yourself that you're going to be able to do what you want to do.
There you go. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So you use the phrase, what happens off the golf course takes place on the golf course. So give us an example recently of how that we've seen that.
Well, that's right. I mean, what takes place in an athlete's or golfer's personal life affects what takes place when they compete. In the case of a golfer on the golf course, and you take Tiger Woods, for example, he's probably a classic case.
Pretty good, yeah.
But Tiger has a relationship in 1999. He was in let me see my note here. He was in a 2-year slump, and he met a young woman named Johanna Jagoda. Wow. Who's blonde, very statuesque, and very beautiful, and very smart, very intelligent. And he formed a relationship with her, and when that happened, he started winning tournaments. In fact, he used to fly her on his jet to tournaments over in Europe. And that went on for a while, and he kept winning tournaments, and then all of a sudden that relationship tapered off, and he went into another funk, he went into a slump, and then he met Ellen, who became his wife. And all of a sudden, he started winning tournaments again. So he has this thing about, I think for him in his life, he believes that he plays better, which I'm sure he does, if he has a significant other relationship, and that is someone who he can talk to in private, and also someone who is beautiful, and someone who's very smart. That's a very important part of it. Most people think, oh, well, he's just looking for a beautiful blonde. They have to be intelligent. And I think he has found another one, a third one now, because he just won the Memorial Tournament. But we'll have to see if he keeps winning tournaments. There's probably someone, but she probably will stay in the background. I don't think she'll come forward because
third time's a charm.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah. So how can we relate things that is happening? Obviously with Tiger, that's easy to see. Where he was playing at a super high level, and now he's finally tied the record, and he did it, in a number of years that is ridiculous compared to Jack Nicklaus. Right. So I mean, what can we learn from that with our own lives? Even with mine, with relationships that I've had, I know it's impacted my performance and not being able to focus.
Yeah, if you have a good relationship with your wife or a girlfriend, or if you're a woman and you have a good relationship with your husband or a significant other, and your life's in harmony, that will definitely affect your game. And you'll play at a very high level. You can't play better than you are, better than your skill level, but the secret is to get as close to your skill level as possible. And if you play a certain golf course and shoot a 67, that's your skill level for that golf course. And theoretically, every time you play that golf course, you should shoot a 67. So,
and I think with golfers, we have so many excuses because you have weather conditions, you have equipment. We could blame it on our equipment. We could blame it on all these different things. But again, being totally committed is taking ownership of your game and not using all the language that distracts us and really. By doing that, and I don't know if Tiger's doing that too, but you could tell that he wasn't, performing at that high level that he was when he was super confident with himself.
And Tiger uses visualization just as Tom Watson and all the best golfers do. But what I found, and this I stumbled on this accidentally 26 years ago.
Wow.
If visualization doesn't work if you are encumbered with baggage and issues. And I'll give you a real quick example. In the U.S. Open a number of years ago, Tom Watson. He shot a 74 the first round out there, and I remember it was, and then he went public. There were rumors circulating. He said, "I'm not divorcing my wife. I'm not firing my brother-in-law as my agent, and I'm not an alcoholic." And then he shot a 60, I think it was 67, and he finished up runner-up in the tournament. I said, "Wait a minute, he unloaded all that,
Yeah,
he got rid of it. Yeah, and that's one of the secrets. If you want to be a good visualizer, you need to be unencumbered with baggage and issues because. That's very, very important. And
we're going to hit more on visualization and music, things like that, how it later on in the 90 days. But that is very important. Is to you got to get yourself to a high sense of confidence and feeling good about yourself before any of that visualization stuff really takes. Because golf, you have to visualize the shot before it happens, and then you can do that shot, and that's what the pros are really good at. But like you said, if you have distractions, maybe you got an argument with your significant other, or before you go out and compete, or you're worried about money, financial. A lot of people don't know this, but on the Nationwide Tour, I talked to a caddy, and he said the number one reason why people are on they're not able to play is because of ulcers, because they have so much stress or putting so much pressure on themselves that they can't perform at their skill level.
And I might add, they create that stress themselves by not dealing with issues in their lives. So.
Yeah. So this week I want you to focus on take Marv's self-esteem test on his website, mindoversports.com. You can kind of see where you're at, and pay attention to your the things that are happening off the golf course that are going to impact you on the golf course. So by getting yourself right, then you'll be able to perform on that skill level consistently.
Right.
So thanks, Marv.
Okay, Sean. Thanks for having me on here.